going to tell you about art today. I want to start out with a free association game. I'm going to tell you a word, and you're going to say the first thing that comes to your mind. Red. Stress.
Blue.
Cow.
White.
Art.
Happy.
Circus.
Happy.
Clowns.
Therapy.
Self-discovery. A couch.
All right. Well, throughout mankind, people have struggled with emotional and physical stresses. Have you ever thought that there would be a therapy you could use that didn't involve a couch and where you could actually make something? All right. Well, today I'm going to speak about art therapy. Art therapy is a legitimate alternative to traditional therapy for people from all walks of life who need mental health care, or need help recovering from traumatic situations, stress relief, and or self-discovery through the creation of art. I will start by explaining what is art therapy before moving on to its techniques and applications, and then telling you who can benefit from it. So, what is art therapy? Art therapy, as defined by the arttherapy.org 2013, is the mental health profession in which clients facilitated by art therapists use art media, the creative process, and the resulting artwork to explore their feelings and improve and restore their functioning and sense of well-being. According to Kathy Malchiati, a registered art therapist and clinical counselor, in her book, The Art Therapy Source Book, art therapy is essentially the marriage between two disciplines, art and psychology. Malchiati states that art therapy is a modality that uses a non-verbal language of art for the professional growth, insight, and transformation, and is a means of connecting what is inside of us, our thoughts, our feelings, and our perceptions with our outside world and realities. This is a practice based in the belief that images can actually help us understand who we are and enhance ourselves through self-expression. Brief history. As you can see from the definition, Malchiati takes into account the art and the psychology sides of art therapy, and the modern history of art therapy in the United States by Maxine Jung, 2010. She writes about different people who influenced the field of art therapy. There are two major theoreticians in the field: Margaret Naumburg, usually called the mother of art therapy, who in 1940 gave the name to the profession, and Edith Kramer, who published her first book in 1958. As the book progresses, Jung defines these two ladies' different points of view of therapy and how it set the foundation for art therapists in the future. For Naumburg, therapy resides in the totality of the art psychotherapy experiences, and for Kramer, therapy emerges from the client's creation of art, the product itself. This means that one valued talking about the art and one valued the actual creation of making the art as therapy. So now that you have a basic understanding of what art therapy is, let me show you what it entails by some artwork and then explain techniques. Free association, by the way, is a technique of art therapy. Art therapy is a dynamic therapy requiring one to participate in their own treatment, in this case through making art. Malchiati, 2007. There are many different techniques utilized by art therapists to help their clients. Chapter 10 of Malchiati's Art Therapy Source Book actually is dedicated to techniques and methods based in psychology and also the visual and expressive arts. Margaret Tarkowski's 2011 Psych Central article on 5 Quick Facts About Art Therapy lists 3 techniques used by Malchiati and her clients discussed in Chapter 10 of her book. These techniques were active imagination, the Gestalt methods, and the third-hand approach. Active imagination is a method created by Carl Jung with the goal of helping clients explore themselves through a sequence of fantasies produced by a deliberate concentration on an image. Malchiati, 2007. An example of this could be a therapist has you create a picture, let's say it's a house, and then art therapist would ask the client to build on that, make a story about the house. Who built the house? Who lives in the house? What's the environment inside the house? What's the environment outside the house? And it's pretty much using your imagination to explore yourself. The Gestalt method focuses on the here and now to emphasize understandings on an individual's personality as the totality of many parts the person's experience of being in the world. It's basically the whole picture, who you are and who you are in the world. The Gestalt therapist uses art produced as a reference to what is currently causing the problems in the client's life to start a discussion about what's going on and help them define and develop their own perspective and meaning of their images. An example of this could be if a therapist asks a client to describe their art piece with using the phrases I am or I feel. Referring back to that house, I could say, depending on what it looked like, I am lonely and run down, or I feel full and strong. Basically, it is a problem-solving technique to self-awareness through the art. The third hand approach literally uses the art therapist's hand as part of creating the art. Art therapist Edith Kramer emphasized the importance of helping clients achieve artistic expression without distorting their artwork or the original intent. Malchiati, 2007. For instance, Malchiati helped a client with cancer cut and glue pieces to his collage. He picked out the images, but because of his circumstances could not operate the scissors properly, so she helped him by doing that and applying the pieces together as he directed. Tchaikovsky, 2011. So, let's look at some art. In this picture, there's the child here who is going through child abuse, and that is a piece that his art therapist helped him create. The next one is called Love by a mother and daughter, and they were going through a struggle and confusion of separation. He's a little older. This one is a man who hadn't done anything in 20 years. He used to write and he used to paint, and all of a sudden he picked it up in an art therapy session, and this is what happened. And this one is from a girl who was struggling with depression, and this is how she expressed herself. And the last one is actually from a therapist, her personal art. Okay, so after looking at the artwork and hearing about the techniques, who do you think can benefit from art therapy?
Everybody could.
Pretty. The process of creating and making tangible products is the personally meaningful and powerful experience with therapeutic benefits. It is a common misconception that you have to be talented in art in order to be successful in art therapy. Anyone and everyone has the ability to be creative in art, regardless of your age or abilities. Malchiati, 2007. Art therapy can benefit people of all ages, cultures, and economic stands. In the Art Therapy Frequently Asked Questions section of the website on American Art Therapy Association, last updated in 2013, this section on who can benefit from art therapy states, art therapy is practiced in mental health, rehabilitation, medical, educational, wellness, private practice, and community settings for a diverse client population of individuals, couples, families, and therapy sessions. This section continues by describing art therapy as an effective treatment for people experiencing developmental, medical, educational, social, or psychological impairments. For example, those in our armed forces who have in combat and come back with PTSD, those in our hospitals fighting life-threatening illnesses like cancer or AIDS, people involved in natural disasters such as Katrina, children of divorce or children of abuse, or college students like myself who is trying to balance life and school. Lastly, this section explains the benefits for those who do receive therapy. Art therapy helps people resolve conflicts, improve personal skills, manage problematic behaviors, reduce negative stress, achieve personal insight, and or provide an opportunity for life-affirming pleasures in making art. So, art therapy is a legitimate alternative to traditional therapy for people from all walks of life who need health care, help recovering from traumatic loss, stress relief, and or self-discovery through the creation of art. Art therapy is a mental health profession that incorporates both art and psychology through a variety of techniques that can benefit everyone, regardless of age or ability, through the creation of art. If we were to play that same free association game right now, would you have the same answers for art and therapy? It's my hope that now you have a better understanding of what art therapy is and your options for mental health care. Thank you.